Angie Dickinson wasn't just another actress from Hollywood's golden era. She was a storm, a woman who broke barriers, rewrote rules, and became one of the most recognizable sex symbols of all time. Known for her magnetic beauty, her sharp intelligence, and her fearless performances, she carved out a career that made her unforgettable. Yet behind the dazzling glamour of red carpets and film sets, Angie's life was full of depth, complexity, and quiet resilience. From bold on-screen roles to private struggles, from whispers of legendary romances to her final years of reflection, Angie Dickinson lived a life that was every bit as cinematic as the roles she played. Early life and small-town dreams. Born Angeline Brown on September 30th, 1931 in Culm, North Dakota, Angie grew up in a modest home that had little to do with Hollywood glamour. Her father was a newspaper editor, and her childhood was defined more by small-town values than flashing cameras. When the family moved to Burbank, California, Angie's world began to shift. She studied business at Glendale College and worked as a secretary, but her striking looks and magnetic personality soon attracted attention. Encouraged by her confidence, she entered beauty pageants and slowly began dipping her toes into the entertainment industry. Breaking into Hollywood, Angie's entry into Hollywood came in the 1950s, during a time when the industry was dominated by male leads and women were often cast in one-dimensional roles. But Angie was different. She brought fire, wit, and authority to her performances, even when playing traditionally glamorous parts. Her early roles in westerns and crime dramas put her on the map, but it was her big break in Howard Hawks' 1959 classic Rio Bravo, alongside John Wayne, that made her a rising star. Critics noted that she wasn't just another pretty face. She could act, and she could hold her own with the biggest stars of the time. Becoming a screen icon. Through the 1960s and 70s, Angie Dickinson became a fixture in Hollywood, known not only for her beauty, but for her daring choices. She starred in films such as Ocean's 11, 1960, with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, The Killers, 1964, and Big Bad Mama, 1974, a bold role that cemented her reputation as someone unafraid to push boundaries. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Angie embraced roles that gave her agency, power, and complexity. She was often the woman who matched wits with men rather than fading into the background. Her performances balanced allure with intelligence, creating a new kind of female character on screen. Breaking ground on television. In 1974, Angie made history as the lead in Policewoman, becoming one of the first women to star as a police officer on a primetime television drama. Playing Sergeant Pepper Anderson, she portrayed a tough yet stylish cop who could command authority while still embodying charisma and warmth. The role was groundbreaking and inspired many women to pursue careers in law enforcement. It also redefined what female leads could do on television. Angie wasn't just a supporting player, she was the star, and the success of Policewoman made her a household name across America. Hollywood glamour and style beyond her acting, Angie Dickinson became a symbol of Hollywood glamour. She was known for her elegance on red carpets, her effortless beauty, and her ability to make even the simplest outfit look sophisticated. Fashion magazines adored her, photographers sought her out, and her presence turned events into moments. But Angie's style wasn't just about clothes. It was about confidence. Whether in a flowing gown, tailored suit, or chic casual wear, she radiated an energy that made her stand out. Fans saw her as both approachable and aspirational, a woman who could embody the fantasy of Hollywood while still feeling real. The whisper of romances. As with many Hollywood stars of her era, Angie's personal life attracted headlines. She was linked to several famous names over the years, from entertainers to television hosts, and her marriages also made news. Her union with legendary composer Burt Bacharach was one of the most high-profile, and together they had a daughter, Nikki. Though the marriage eventually ended, Angie always spoke with honesty about her experiences in love. Later in life, she admitted to a deep, lifelong bond with Frank Sinatra, describing him as the great love of her life. Unlike sensationalized rumors, this acknowledgement was one of quiet truth, a glimpse into the private heart of a woman who had spent decades in the public eye. The greatest love and deepest loss. Perhaps the most defining chapter of Angie's personal life was her role as a mother. Her daughter, Nikki, was born in 1966, and Angie dedicated much of her life to supporting her. Nikki faced lifelong challenges, including struggles with autism and mental health, and Angie's devotion to her daughter was unwavering. In 2007, Nikki passed away, and Angie openly admitted that she never fully recovered from that loss. Her honesty about grief and motherhood resonated with fans who admired her vulnerability. Beneath the glamour and fame, she was a mother who endured heartbreak, yet continued forward with quiet strength. Resilience in the face of change. As Hollywood evolved, Angie Dickinson remained a steady presence. She continued acting into the 80s and 90s, appearing in both television and film, though she became more selective with her roles. Unlike many who struggled to adapt to shifting industry trends, Angie embraced the changes with grace. She didn't chase every spotlight or project, instead choosing parts that mattered to her. Even when she stepped back from acting, her influence endured. Younger actresses often cited her as a trailblazer, someone who showed that women could lead shows, headline films, and demand respect in an industry that didn't always offer it. The power of mystery. Part of what has always made Angie Dickinson so compelling is her air of mystery. While many stars sought constant publicity, Angie kept parts of her life private. This balance of openness and discretion made her even more intriguing. Fans speculated, journalists asked questions, but Angie never revealed more than she wanted to. This ability to maintain control over her image was rare, especially in an industry that thrived on gossip. By keeping parts of her life out of the spotlight, she preserved not only her dignity, but also her allure. An enduring legacy. Today, Angie Dickinson is remembered not only for her beauty and style, but for her courage as an actress and her resilience as a woman. She was one of the first female television leads to break into what had been a male-dominated genre. She embraced roles that challenged expectations, and she lived a life that was both glamorous and deeply human. Her story is one of contradictions: fame and privacy, glamour and heartbreak, strength and vulnerability. But perhaps that is what made her so unforgettable. She wasn't just a star. She was a woman who lived fully, with all the triumphs and struggles that come with it. Conclusion: more than a symbol. Angie Dickinson once said, "I'm not a symbol, I'm a survivor." Those words capture the essence of her life. Though she became an icon of Hollywood beauty and style, she was always more than an image. She was a groundbreaking actress, a loving mother, a woman of resilience, and someone who carried both joy and pain with remarkable grace. Her legacy is not just in the films she made or the television barriers she broke, but in the way she embodied authenticity in a world that often demands artifice. Angie Dickinson remains a reminder that the brightest stars are not those who shine without shadows, but those who illuminate even through them.